up in the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Or is it part 2 of a video that I haven't uploaded part 1 of yet? Well, it will be uploaded by the time this comes out, but yeah. So, what's going on, super friends? It's Super Dude here in the Fortress of Brotude, and there are police cars outside my house. Like, traveling down the road, not outside my house looking for me. Because I'd have to cut this video short. Also, birthday t-shirt. I know I've wore it before, but it's American Alpha, and it's my birthday, so I'm gonna do it. I was doing my Injustice 2 list, and some things came up, and I had not enough time to finish it before I had to go to work. So, I am going to go from where I believe I was, because I did not watch the last video to know where I was. So, sorry about that, guys. If I missed any, I'll be sure to do a recap thing, whatever. I'm sure I'm going to add some more people later on. But I'm going to do these now for you. Part 2 of my Injustice 2 wish list for my super friends. Starting with the second most wanted on my guest list. Number 2 for my guest list is Bing! Casey Jones. Yeah. I want to see Casey Jones in this game. I would love to see a Casey Jones guest character in this game. I mean, I'm a fan of Casey Jones over the Ninja Turtles even. Like, the Ninja Turtles helped create Casey Jones, so thank you to them. I like the Ninja Turtle characters, I like the show, all that, but anytime Casey Jones is on, I'm happy. Why, though? Because, well, he uses some very... I'm looking at Street Fighter 5 gameplay over there. He uses some very rough and tough methods, and I like it. I like the hockey mask. The hockey mask is cool. The fact that he has the hockey stick, the baseball bat, the golf club, the cricket bat. Yeah, the cricket bat. I think he could be a cool character. It'd be weird to see our armor put on him, but it'd be a cool character. That's why I didn't base this list on who or who would not have armor on, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So, I want Casey Jones, and the design I would want for Casey Jones is either his old school Ninja Turtles cartoon design from the early 2000s. The one where he had bluish looking hair. I'd take that Casey Jones. I would take a Stephen Amell version of Casey Jones, or the classic comic book Casey Jones, or specifically designed for Injustice Casey Jones. That'd be cool too. A specifically designed version of all these guest characters would be cool. And all these other characters and females and male characters Injustice-specific designs like they did with Scorpion. I'll discuss that at the end of, right before I do my number 1 picks for each section. But moving on. My number 2 in my other section, aside from my male and females, if you watched part 1, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't, go watch part 1 and this part will make sense. But number 2 is Azrael. Now, a lot of people don't care for Azrael. A lot of people don't put Azrael on the same level as Batman. But if you played the Arkham games, spoilers if you didn't play the Arkham games and you want to play the Arkham games, avoid this. But spoiler. In the Arkham games, Azrael's whole game plan, his whole reason for being in the games at all, was one day you're going to be too old to do this. I need to take over for you. and if you don't want to let me, I will take it by force. And so it was sort of I want to be the next Batman type person. I want to be the person that resides over Gotham. He's got a really cool design. He's got a really cool he fights with a sword, sort of a medieval knight Templar type character. And I just like him. And I know I try to avoid saying It happens a lot. But Azrael, all in all, is a cool character. The mask design for him is good. Just the way he talks, the sort of ye old English way of talking, almost. It's really interesting. I would take for his design. I would take his excuse me. I would take his Arkham design, and the way he could fight. I guess you would akin him to Deathstroke minus the guns, like the way Deathstroke used a sword. Deathstroke minus the guns. But yeah, Azrael. Going on to my second to last on my female roster. Black Canary. Simple. Black Canary. And I don't mean like Laurel Lance's pre-voicey Black Canary. I'm talking about like Black Siren Black Canary. Like the canary, just the voice carrying type character. The superpowered Black Canary. It'd be a cool little nod to the Arrow show. It'd be a fun thing to do. It'd be a fun thing to see, and it'd be a fun thing to play. She could play out a lot like Sindel from Mortal Kombat, minus the breaking bones apart aspect. You don't want to do that. I didn't go through and come up with supers and all this for these characters. I mean, if that's something you want to see, leave a comment or leave a message in any of my messagey stuff, and I'll do my ideas for super moves for any of the characters that you want to see. The only characters I'm going to be talking about possible super moves for are my top ones for each section. I did write those. I didn't write them down, but I wrote them in my head. So my top ones for each section. It just got darker in here all of a sudden. I apologize. But yeah, my top ones for each section are going to get supers. But Black Canary, the design I would use for her would be the Arrow or the most recent Justice League cartoon or Young Justice design. That's where I would go. But moving on to my second to last male. Now, this one was a toss-up. It really comes down to who do I want more? Like if I had to get just one of these characters guaranteed, who would it be? And that's why my number one is not going to be mentioned yet, but my number two and he didn't lose by that much. He lost by like a vote. Like if you could do that, it was a swing decision. He could have went either way. But my number two is Static Shock. Now, mind you, it's my number two, but that's only because I had to have a number one. Static Shock would be I've been wanting Static Shock for a long time. We need Static Shock in this game. I know we're probably going to have Black Adam or whatever, but Static Shock could be his own thing. Flying around on a trash can, Static Shock. On a trash can lid, Static Shock. If you're going to do Static Shock, he could play a lot like Raiden, I would say. A lot like Raiden, you could do. Just like a combination of maybe like Raiden and possibly a little bit of Black Adam implemented in there. Just some really cool, weird, staticky stuff. He could have a move where he statics him up in the air for a combo or something. I don't know. I just know it would be cool. The design you would have to have for him could be Injustice made, like the Injustice mobile app version, but I would prefer to see a Static Shock cartoon version of this character if we're going to do costumes. Now, I am so hoping Static Shock makes it, but yeah, I may go through and write some super moves for these characters, but how I would imagine them, but I will be doing them for my top picks. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this a little switcheroo-y. I'm going to be doing my top pick for my other first, then my female top. Or no, I'm going to be doing my female top, then my other top, then my guest, then my final male. So starting with my final female pick, my number one most wanted female in this game, Power Girl. Not Supergirl, Power Girl. But Super Dude, isn't Supergirl and Power Girl pretty much the same character? No. Weird person who talks like that. No, they're not. The Power Girl, if I'm not mistaken, is Kara Zor-El from a different Earth. And I don't mean she's like Kara Zor-El from a different planet, because that's what Kara Zor-El is. She is Kara Zor-El from, like, if the Supergirl we know as Kara is on Earth, we'll say Earth 1, then Kara Zor-El, aka Power Girl, is from Earth 2. That's what I'm talking about. Power Girl would be incredible. Simply because Supergirl has a sort of lax demeanor, I would say, like a sort of chilled vibe. Power Girl, not so much. Power Girl is really, oh, there's a problem over there, let's choke it to death. Like, Power Girl is really aggressive. She's like Superboy in that aspect. She's really, really aggressive, and that's why I want this character. But if you're going to do Power Girl, you have to separate her from the Super family. Superboy, Superman, Supergirl, all those. And her super move needs to be dramatically different. If I were creating Supergirl or Power Girl's super move, I would have her punch up the opponent up into the air, and then she frost breaths the opponent and then knocks them back down, and then the glass shatters when they hit the ground. That's what my Power Girl Ultra would be. It would involve some form of her super breath being used. I know it's seems very kind of, but that's because really you've really outdone it with Superman. Really, you've done all you can do in terms of, holy crap, look how high in the sky he punched that guy. You've really done all you can with Superman. So it's really hard to do, but I would use Power Girl's ice breath, super freeze breath in some aspect. Now moving on to Dr. Fate. Correct me, but I don't think he's in the Injustice mobile game. I know another character I'll be talking about later on, spoiler, is in a way in the Injustice game, but Dr. Fate, not so much. Now, Dr. Fate is my top pick for other because, holy crap. I liked playing as Zatanna in the last game. I liked using Zatanna in the last game. And from what I understand about Dr. Fate is like Zatanna on steroid heroin. Steroin. Yeah. Dr. Fate takes steroid heroin. I've said too much. Dr. Fate, his power set would be really cool. Because he's like the pan-ultimate sorcerer for the DC universe. He is ridiculously overpowered. He could kill Superman with a flick of his pinky finger. He's incredible. That guy agrees. I love Oh Yeah Guy. Now, Dr. Fate, if I were doing Dr. Fate's super move, I would definitely have it be not on the same dimension that they were fighting on. I would have him teleport to a sort of mystical, magical dimension, and then have his big anchored thing, his big cross that's not a cross, that thing, and just smash a giant one of those onto his opponent. Just like lock the opponent's wrists with magic, and sort of like a crucifixy type thing almost, and then boom, magic blast. Yeah, that's what I would do for a Dr. Fate super move. It'd be very easy to put Dr. Fate in this game, guys. Give us Dr. Fate. Moving on to my let me... One second, guys. I'm having trouble deciding which one to talk about first. Let me go to my source that you guys don't see, but I'm going to talk to him anyway. Source. Should I discuss my male character before my guest, or my guest before my last male?
There's more than one guest left?
No, there's only one guest left and one male left.
Do the male, make the guest character surprise.
Make the guest character surprise. Okay. You heard that. So, my last male character, the top one that I want out of anybody I've seen, and this is a pick that is popular, but that's not why I picked him. Red Hood. Now, when I said spoiler here. He's already kind of in Injustice in the mobile version under the Arkham Knight cowl. Arkham Knight is a character in Injustice. It'd be very easy to transition from the Arkham Knight character in Injustice Mobile to a Red Hood character in this Injustice 2 game. Now, of course, his power set, his abilities are going to be using his guns, using his technology, using his tech, just straight up shooting and blowing up people to death. Just Red Hood style, blowing people up. Now, his super move has to involve some sort of pistol gameplay, like pistol play, just like flipping them, just like a. How I would do it is I would do like a slow motion sort of like flip thing, and he would shoot the, you know what I'm talking about? He would like shoot the gun in a sort of arc, and then land behind him and go. That's what I would do. I believe my colleague has an idea.
What if he called in the Arkham Knight suit?
We'll see. The problem with calling in the Arkham Knight suit is that the Arkham Knight suit isn't really a suit. The Arkham Knight suit is just a pair of bat ears attached to the Red Hood helmet. It's really not a suit.
How did nobody know it was him?
Huh?
How did nobody know it was him?
Because Red Hood's never been in a game before. So they didn't know what his helmet would look like, because they changed the design of it for this game. Huh?
What about the people in the game?
The people in the game?
They were like, oh my god, look, it's Arkham Knight. Or it's just Red Hood with ears.
Whenever he puts the ears on, it changes the color of the helmet.
Well, then it's... Never mind.
Yeah. It's a lot... What I think he thought that there was like an Arkham Knight suit, and then the Red Hood... But... That's what I would do, is I would have it to be some form of over-exaggerated gun shooting. Now, I'm going to discuss this last guest. This guest has 99.99 to the infinitesimal decimal chance of being in this game. But if you can put Texas Chainsaw Massacre in Mortal Kombat, and you can put Kratos in Mortal Kombat, and you can put Battletoads into Killer Instinct, then this guy can be in a superhero fighting game.
Makes sense.
So go ahead and boo or say whatever you're going to say, Source, about my guest character. Because you know who it is. Well.
Oh, no, never. Doesn't fit at all.
Go, Green Ranger, go. Yes, my guest that I want more than anything in this game is the Green Ranger, the original, the OG Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And some people, and other people have told me, and whenever I come forth with this idea, that Green Ranger doesn't fit. Except, yes, he does. And here's why. What is this game full of? Fighting heroes. What are the Power Rangers fighting heroes. You could do a whole movie, and if you got Jason David Frank to get behind voicing this character, your popularity for this game would skyrocket solely based on the fact that the Green Ranger is in the game. Yes, Injustice is going to sell itself based on the merits of Injustice. It is going to not be hard off to sell copies. It is not going to be like, oh, we need a celebrity to sell No, it's not going to have to like sell its soul to the Hades, who was on this list earlier. It's not going to have to sell its soul to be able to sell copies. I'm saying, if you get Jason David Frank, JDF, behind this project and let him be the Green Ranger and voice the Green Ranger in this game, he would promote it for you because he's that nice of a guy. And because the Green Ranger is one of, if not the most popular Ranger in history. I mean, he has his own hat, for crying out loud. If you were going to do a Power Ranger, the Green Ranger is the one you want. Green Ranger beat Ryu from Street Fighter, for crying out loud. Be salty. Be salty. And the White Ranger beat Scorpion. Be saltier. He's just over there, just like, punk. The salt is real. It's deep in his wounds. He cries man tears of teenage saltiness. But his abilities would be cool. Give him the stuff that we saw him use in the show. Give him his super dark Hadouken thing that he used. His dark energy ball. Give him the power or sword of darkness. Give him... Don't let him use the dragon dagger. Except for, like, maybe to power up his shield. Let that be a power-up thing. Just do-do-do-do-do. And it powers up his shield and it makes him tougher. For a time. You could do so much cool stuff with this character. Including his super move. There are only 2 super moves I would accept for a Green Ranger character in Injustice. There are only 2 super moves I would accept. One has to be calling the Dragon Zord from the river, or the ocean, or wherever, the Angel Grove Harbor, and having it step on somebody, or you would have to have the other Rangers and Cameo kick the crap out of whoever he's fighting. Give us a Green Ranger. Alright guys, that'll do it for this video. I'm going to talk more about Green Ranger being a possible Injustice 2 character later on. Hashtag Green Ranger for Injustice. Hashtag Rorschach can get trending. Hashtag Green Ranger can get trending. Alright guys, that'll do it for this video. Leave your comments about who you would want to see in Injustice 2. But until next time, I've been Super Dude. You guys have been Super Friends from the Fortress of Brotude, located in Angel Grove. Hashtag Green Ranger for Injustice. And until next time, up, and away.